given that sine of t equals 5 over 13 and t is in Q2, find the remaining 5 trig functions. Okay, so a lot of bit of information here. Let's just think about what we first know. Okay, so let's draw our xy plane here. Okay, we know that this angle, whatever this is, right? Remember, t represents an angle. That is going to be in quadrant 2. Okay, so if we draw a little circle, right, whatever this point is, whatever this angle is, we know that it's in quadrant 2. Now I'm just going to eyeball it, so it doesn't really matter where I do it, right? So remember, this angle here, whatever it is, this is t. Okay, but we also know that the sine of t is 5 over 13. Remember, sine represents the y coordinate here. Okay, so whatever this coordinate is, we know that the y value is 5 over 13, right? And that's the sine of t. So, okay, we need to know what this x coordinate is. How are we going to find the value of this x coordinate? Okay, we also know that x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, right? So that's how we're going to find it. Okay, remember, this also means that cosine squared of t plus sine squared of t is equal to 1, right? Remember, these two equations are sort of the same thing. This is based on the Pythagorean theorem here. Okay, we could sort of draw this triangle out, right? X squared plus y squared is equal to 1 here. Okay, so let's plug this guy in. Okay, so we know that x squared, whatever that is, plus 5 over 13 squared, we know that this should equal 1. Okay, so x squared, just doing the math here, right? 25 over 169 is equal to 1. So when we subtract this over, we get x squared equals 1 minus 25 over 169. Okay, just getting the LCD here. Okay, 169 over 169, so that's 144 over 169. And we need to take the square root of that. So the square root of 144 is 12. The square root of 169 is 13. Okay. Notice we get a plus and minus, right? Because we're taking the square root of something squared. So, wait a minute, is our answer positive, or is it negative, or is it both? Well, here's why you got to be very careful. It's not always positive, right? Notice that what quadrant is this angle in, right? We are in quadrant 2. So what does that tell us about the x value here? Right? It tells us that the x value is negative. So this should be the point negative 12 comma 13. And then the y value is 5 over 13. Right, so remember those three things. You always have to know the x value, the y value, and what quadrant your point is in. Okay, for every problem that we do in this class, those are at least the three things you should know: the x value, the y value, and what quadrant you're in, because that'll determine your signs, right? Well, now that we have this, we should be able to answer this. The 5 remaining trig functions. Okay, well, we know what sine is, right? Sine is 5 over 13. Now we know what cosine is, right? Cosine is the x value, which in this case is negative 12 over 13. Right? Tangent is y over x, or sine over cosine, right? So we'll do that work on the side here, I guess. So we got 5 over 13 divided by negative 12 over 13. Now remember, we never divide by fractions. We always multiply by the reciprocal. So 5 over 13 times negative 13 over 12 gives us negative 5 over 12. So this tangent of t is negative 5 over 12. Now that we have the first three, the other three should follow, right? Because they're just the reciprocals. The reciprocal of sine is cosecant. So cosecant of t is 13 over 5. The reciprocal of cosine is secant. So the reciprocal of that would be negative 13 over 12. The reciprocal of tangent is cotangent, so the reciprocal of that would be negative 12 over 5. As always, make sure you keep track of your signs here.